Spring 2025 Commissioning Ceremony. The purpose of today's ceremony is for each cadet to take their oath of office, conduct the pinning of the bars, and execute the coveted first salute. Today we will commission 20 cadets who will soon stand before you as second lieutenants in the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem. You may be seated. The Reserve Officer Training Corps, ROTC, is the largest officer-producing source in the United States Army, with over 270 host college and university programs across the nation. North Carolina State University is one of the oldest Army ROTC programs in the country, dating back to 1894, when the Department of Military Science was first established. The Army ROTC program was officially established in 1917 and has since commissioned more than 2,500 officers into the United States Army. At this time, we'd like to ask all military veterans and those currently serving to please stand and be recognized for your commitment and dedicated service to our nation. I would now like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Michael Salazar, the Professor of Military Science.
Hey, good morning. It's truly an honor to be here today, surrounded by distinguished visitors, family, friends, and cadets. As the Professor of Military Science, I have the privilege of setting the stage for today's commissioning ceremony. While we originally had planned to gather at the Memorial Bell Tower, an iconic and solemn location on NC State's campus, circumstances have brought us here today to the Witherspoon Student Center, home of the Jeffrey Wright Military and Veteran Services. Though contingencies prompted a change in location, we have not lost the spirit or symbolism of what today represents. Last night, we held our traditional bar ceremony at the Memorial Bell Tower. The tower, with its cornerstone laid in 1921, stands in remembrance of NC State's alumni who paid the ultimate sacrifice during World War I. At its base lies the Shrine Room, which holds a marble plaque memorializing those fallen heroes. It is there that the gold bars, the second lieutenant rank, belonging to each of you soon-to-be officers, were safeguarded overnight, continuing a decades-old tradition that linked you to a generation of Wolfpack warriors who came before you. The tradition carried forward into today, even as we gather in this meaningful place. The Jeffrey Wright Military and Veteran Service Suite is more than just a location. It's a hub of support, advocacy, and community for those who have worn or will wear the uniform. Holding our ceremony here underscores the university's commitment to our military-affiliated students and highlights the strong partnership between our ROTC programs and the wider NC State community. This setting reflects our core values: duty, service, and belonging. Countless university and facility staff have played an essential role in supporting the education and training of these young leaders. Far too many to list here this morning, but I would like to recognize a few by name. While they could not be here today, I would like to thank the Chancellor, Dr. Kevin Howell, the Vice Chancellor and Dean of DASA, Dr. Donica Scott, and the Senior Associate Vice Chancellor of DASA, Dr. Lisa Zapata. I'd like to also recognize the Director of Military and Veteran Affairs, Nick Drake, and Tom Stafford, the caretaker of the bell tower and true NC State legend. In the end, I'm confident that there is no more supportive university to the ROTC mission than what we are blessed to experience here at NC State. To the cadre, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude for everything you've done to shape and strengthen this program. Your leadership, guidance, and unwavering commitment to development of each and every one of these cadets have not only enhanced their individual lives, but also elevated our entire unit. You guys are rock stars. To the cadets, as you step forward today and take your oaths, remember that you are joining a profession. You are becoming a part of a legacy of service and sacrifice that stretches back over 2 centuries. The road ahead will require everything you have: your intelligence, your perseverance, your heart. But I have no doubt that you will rise to every challenge and lead with honor. Congratulations to you all. I am incredibly proud of you, and we wish you nothing but success and fulfillment as you begin this incredible journey. Lastly, it is my honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker for today's ceremony, Command Sergeant Major Lee Strong. He currently serves as the CSM for the U.S. Army John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He has numerous combat deployments and is an extremely experienced and accomplished Green Beret and practitioner of special warfare. Moreover, he is a leader of character and is held in the highest regard in the Special Forces Regiment. Most importantly, however, in my observations, CSM Strong is a devoted husband and proud father of 2 fantastic young women, one of whom will be commissioning with us here this very day. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Command Sergeant Major Lee Strong.
I won't take whoever's wallet and cell phone this is up here. Second to get situated. So distinguished visitors, cadre, friends, and family, welcome to today's commissioning ceremony. I know there's one guest in the second row who's really excited to be here because I believe he's getting to skip school to attend today. Is that what I overheard in the second row? Congratulations. I'll get you an enlistment contract after this. No, but in all seriousness, I'm humbled and honored for the opportunity to speak here today. I'm also aware that I'm the only thing between you all, your first salute, and the official start of your Army career. I'm also well aware that friends and family have traveled here today to spend this moment with you, and that time is valuable. So I promise I'll do my best to keep my comments brief while also not diminishing the gravity of this significant accomplishment. So today is a day full of emotions, a day of joy, excitement, relief, and probably some anxiety. So I don't know how much of what I'm about to say is going to sink in, but I hope to leave you with something of substance that your future self, whether 6 months or 6 years from now, can reflect on. So leading up to today, I thought, what do you say to the Army's newest leaders and their families? I could talk about the current future security environment, strategic competition, deterrence, and the Army's role in large-scale combat operations. But the reality is, you all have heard plenty of that over the course here. You got a ton of it at advanced camp. You're going to get a whole lot more of that at BOLIC and throughout your careers. And the reality is, you all will be the ones to execute those missions on behalf of our nation. It's what you've been trained for and what our nation expects of you. So instead today, I'd like my comments to focus on 3 things: humility, gratitude, and commitment. Before I hit those 3 points, I want to talk a little bit about our Army as it relates to the history of our nation, the role you'll play as an officer in that Army, and the amazing soldiers and families that you're now entrusted to lead and care for. Our nation's history and our Army's history have been written together. We had an Army before we had a nation. The Army was established by the Continental Congress June 14th, 1775, a year before the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. Our nation's history is not possible without the triumphs, struggle, commitment, and sacrifices of our Army. It's a history that almost didn't occur. 18 months after declaring our independence, General George Washington, our first commander and first president, marched a beaten, battered, and nearly broken army into the winter encampment at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania in December of 1777. They endured the harsh winters, shortage of supply, starvation, and disease. But what emerged in June of 1778 was the most committed, professional, and lethal fighting force the world has ever seen, the United States Army. An army that went on to expand our nation's territory in 1803 during the Lewis and Clark expedition. An army that helped rebuild the nation on the hallowed grounds of Gettysburg. An army that went to liberate our European allies during World War I, and then later secured beaches of Omaha and Utah and parachuted behind enemy lines in Normandy to liberate Europe from oppression. Months later, they resecured the Philippines in 1945, and in the decades following World War II, our Army has been called on countless times to restore world order and secure peace in places like Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, Somalia, Haiti, Bosnia, and of course in your lifetimes during the global war on terror in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Our Army is also a force of good for all mankind. It's developed countless advancements in technology, aviation, science, and medicine, and is called upon to do disaster relief and humanitarian assistance. These accomplishments are only possible through the selfless service and commitments of the soldiers and the families. I'd like to give a couple tangible examples of those kind of soldiers and their commitment. Major Dick Meadows, at age 15, lied about his age so he could go off and fight the Korean War at age 15 to earn a Distinguished Singer's Cross and 2 Silver Stars. Your own professor of military science, Lieutenant Colonel Salazar's grandfather, CSM retired David Clark, who had 30-plus years of service, with another 3 decades of service and over 70 years of selfless service to our nation as an active duty service member and as a DA civilian, retiring at the age of 92. A lifetime of service to our nation. Our nation's 35th president, John F. Kennedy, summarizes what commitment looks like in a very simple quote. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So today, you all officially join the rank and file of our Army, and we will turn the page on our Army and our nation's history. And today we look at a blank page. It's your page. What will that page say? But your generation will write the next chapter of our history, and as I look at that formation, I'm confident that these will be stories of gratitude, humility, and commitment. I'd like to start with gratitude. Today's accomplishment is not your accomplishment alone. Along the way, your family, friends, teachers, coaches, and mentors have instilled the values, character, and competency that has led you to this moment. So to the families in the audience, thank you. Thank you for the care and commitment that you have poured into these young men and women. As an Army senior leader and a father of a graduate here today, I promise that the Army will continue to pour the same love, care, and accountability into them that you have. Also to the families, welcome. Welcome to this Army family. You and your new officer are in for an amazing journey. You are entering a career and a life that is fulfilling in ways that I cannot express in a simple speech here today. It's our people that make this profession so amazing, and you all are now a part of it. To the leaders, cadre, and faculty at NC State, thank you for the training and mentorship that you've poured into these young men and women over the past 4 years. You've provided them oversight while also giving them a road to personal growth. To the formation, thank you. Thank you for your service and your willingness to join our Army. We live in an American culture of excess, in a society full of options and opportunity, yet you all chose a life of service. You all chose to serve something bigger than yourself. You've taken a huge risk, and you've attempted something very difficult. You've endured the cold nights, the rainy days, the summer heat, and the elements that the ROTC program can produce just to join this team. Throughout my 27-year career, many things have changed. I've seen several uniforms, new weapon systems, night vision devices, vehicle platforms, and the rapid integration of technology on the battlefield. but what hasn't changed is our people and our purpose. The talent, patriotism, and commitment of the people of our Army is unmatched, and you all are no exception. So thank you for your willingness to serve in our Army. So what will make you a good officer and a good leader? Many will tell you it'll be intelligence, being articulate, physically fit, a foundation of doctrine, technical and tactical proficiency. These are all true, but you wouldn't be sitting here today if you weren't all of those things. It's your job, and it's what we expect of you, and that's the baseline. You've been tested, measured, and validated against all those throughout this program. So what will make you not just a good officer, but a great leader? It'll be your character, living and leading your values, a relentless commitment to excellence, and demonstrating integrity and moral courage in difficult situations. If you want to be a better leader, start by being a better person. Which leads me to humility. You've earned the opportunity to serve in this organization and amongst its people. But today is just the beginning. I challenge you to continue to earn it every day through your actions. Never be above the team, never be too big for any task, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Go to work every day like it's your first and your last day. Salute every time with the same pride, care, and emotion as your first salute here today. Every leader must have a solid foundation of character, moral courage, and humility. So what does it mean to be a leader of humility? It means not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of others and the cause more. It means letting the team own the success while you own the burden of struggle. It's knowing that you and your soldiers are not perfect, and at times you may fall, but you can never fail as long as you learn and grow. It's when hard work becomes a habit and integrity becomes intuitive. Humility is also about moral courage and doing the right thing when no one's watching and when it's not popular, which leads me to commitment. You and your family's commitment will be tested over long deployments, training, and hardship, but you're up for the task. You'll become more resilient, solidifying your commitment along the way. You've taken the first step with your presence here today, but I'm going to ask you to keep committing, not just today, but every day of your career and every day of your life. When our time here on earth is finite, when our last breath leaves our body and we leave this earth, we will not be remembered by the things we own, but by the things we have done and the lives we have impacted. If you ever need a reminder of what commitment looks like, in the military, you never have to look far. On every installation, at every unit, there are constant reminders, names of heroes that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, brave men and women that have given us a gift and taught us a valuable lesson. They've given us a gift of today, and they've shown us that tomorrow is not a guarantee. Their names are on granite walkways, on buildings, and in conference rooms. So today is precious, and what we do with today matters. It's how we honor them, their sacrifice, and the ones they've left behind. So I ask you all to live a life of purpose, live a life of honor, and enjoy every moment. Leave the Army and your soldiers better than you found them. Again, welcome to the Army. You entered NC State and this ROTC program as a civilian. You are now leaving this institution as a soldier. Whether you do 4 years or 34 years of service, you will never return to society as a civilian. You will return as a veteran. Every day from here on out, you represent our Army and our flag. As a future Army leader, you can't just expect more. You must do more if you want to represent our brand well. All that being said, you will leave the Army the way you came in, and that's as a person. Don't identify with the things on the left side of your uniform. Identify with what's on the right. The left side of your uniform is all your badges and patches, and they say things about you, but it is not who you are. It is your name tape and our American flag that matter most. It's who you are, and it is your purpose. Again, to the parents, friends, and family in the audience, thank you for your investment in these amazing young men and women here today. To the future leaders, congratulations on this accomplishment, and thank you for your willingness to serve. Go Pack, de oppresso liber, be all you can be. God bless America.
The oath of office was introduced on 29 September 1789 in the United States and has only been modified 2 times since 1884. Its words mark a promise that these leaders are making in front of all of you to their country. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Salazar will administer the oath of office for Cadets Berkey, Clardy, Grant, Manigo, Park, Ross, Spangle, Sukhanov, Zepp, Thompson, and Welch.
I state your name. Having been appointed as Second Lieutenant in the United States Army. Do solemnly swear. That I support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely. Without mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. And that this I will and faithfully. Discharge the duties of my office. Upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
At this time, I will administer the oath of office for Cadets Christian and Strong. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Of the office. Upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel retired Joseph Fish will administer the oath of office for Cadet Annabella Fish.
It's a big day. I
I, Annabella Fish,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States against all enemies
against the United States and foreign
and domestic,
and domestic,
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
that I take this obligation freely without any mental obligation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office to which I'm about to enter.
of the office to which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Oh, sorry.
At this time, Chief Warrant Officer 4, retired Ronald Harris, will administer the oath of office for Cadet Alexander Harris.
I state your name.
I, Alexander Harris,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I will
I will bear true faith
I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and
to the
allegiance to
same.
the same.
I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
And that I will faithfully, that I will well and faithfully
That I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
on which I'm about to enter.
on which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
At this time, First Lieutenant T-Shawn Lee will administer the oath of office for Cadet Andrew Kleiner.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. I, Andrew Kleiner. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend the Constitution of the United States. To support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. That I bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I take this obligation freely. I take this obligation freely. Without mental reservation. Without mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. Or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully. I will well and faithfully. That I take this obligation. That I take this obligation. Freely, without reservation. And that I will well and faithfully discharge. I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office. The duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. On which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
At this time, Major Tahira Walker will administer the oath of office for Valence Modeste.
I state your name.
I, Valence Modeste,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the United States
the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same.
to the same.
That I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well
That I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of which I am about to enter.
the duties of
The duties of the office. The
Duties.
duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
At this time, Commander Retired Jackson Moody will administer the oath of office for Robert Sinclair.
I state your name.
I, Robert Sinclair,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office on which I'm about to enter.
of the office on which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
At this time, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Retired Raker Tatautow will administer the oath of office for Cadet Ricardo Tatautow.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Ricardo Stavell,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
That I will faithfully discharge the duty
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of this office which I'm about to enter.
of this office of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
At this time, Major General retired Raz Woff will administer the oath of office for Cadet John Werner.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, John Thomas Werner,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office on which I'm about to enter.
of the office of which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We will now begin the pinning ceremony. Cadets are joined by their friends and family who greatly assisted them in obtaining their goal of earning a commission in the Army. These individuals will pin the lieutenant rank on the Army's newest leaders and stand by to witness their first official act as an officer, receiving a salute. As is tradition in the United States Army, these newly commissioned officers present a silver dollar to the first subordinate service member to render them a salute. The presentation of the coin symbolically acknowledges the receipt of respect due the new lieutenant. This ritual recognizes those who have paved the way and is a commitment to serve with the same honor. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Manigo and Sukhanov to the grade of second lieutenant. Lieutenant Manigo received his Bachelor of Arts in Physiology and will serve as a military police officer in the Army Reserves. Lieutenant Sukhanov received his Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and will serve as a signal officer in the Army Reserves. In keeping with Army tradition, Master Sergeant Thomas Cheek will render the first salute for Second Lieutenants Manigo and Sukhanov. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Berkey and Clardy to the grade of Second Lieutenant. In keeping with Army tradition, Specialist Jake Harris will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Berkey, and Sergeant Riley Couch will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Clardy. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Fish and Grant to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Fish received her Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and will serve as an Adjutant General and officer in the Army Reserves. Lieutenant Grant received his Master of Research in Physiology and will serve as a Quartermaster officer in the North Carolina National Guard. In keeping with Army tradition, Private First Class Everlyn Vo will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Fish, and Staff Sergeant Jacob Connolly will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Grant. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Harris and Kleiner to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Harris received his Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences with a concentration in human biology and will serve as an active duty armor officer. Lieutenant Kleiner received his Bachelor of Arts in History and will serve as an active duty military intelligence officer. In keeping with Army tradition, Sergeant First Class Retired Chris Young will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Harris, and former Sergeant Greg Griffin will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Kleiner. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Quishin and Modeste to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Quishin received her Bachelor of Science in Science Computer Information Systems and will serve as an active duty Adjutant General Officer. Lieutenant Modeste received his Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology and will serve as an Engineer Officer in the Army Reserves. In keeping with Army tradition, Sergeant First Class Retired Patrick Quishin will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Quishin, and First Sergeant Valence Modeste will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Modeste. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadet Park and Ross to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Park received his Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and will serve as an active duty transportation officer. Lieutenant Ross received his Master of Science in Accountancy and will serve as an engineer officer in the North Carolina National Guard. In keeping with Army tradition, Staff Sergeant Jared Goodin will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Park, and Sergeant Excel Mbate will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Ross. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Sinclair and Spangle to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Sinclair received his Master's in Business Administration and will serve as an active duty finance officer. Lieutenant Spangle received his Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and will serve as an active duty armor officer. In keeping with Army tradition, First Sergeant Pete Evangelist will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Sinclair, and Sergeant Major Retired Antonio Brown will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Spangle. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Strong and Zepp to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Strong received her Bachelor of Science in Nutrition Sciences and will serve as an active duty military police officer. Lieutenant Zepp received his Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and will serve as an active duty aviation officer. In keeping with Army tradition, Command Sergeant Major Lee Strong will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Strong, and former Specialist 5 Russell Zepp will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Zepp. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadet Tatau and Thompson to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Tatau received his Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and will serve as an active duty field artillery officer. Lieutenant Thompson received her Bachelor's in Animal Science with a veterinary science concentration and was accepted into the Army Education Delay Program to continue her education in veterinary science with the goal of becoming an officer in the Veterinary Corps. In keeping with Army tradition, First Sergeant Elliot Westbrook will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Tao, and Sergeant Retired Charles Dellinger will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Thompson. Selected family and friends, please come forward to pin the bars promoting Cadets Welch and Werner to the grade of Second Lieutenant. Lieutenant Welch received his Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and will serve as an active duty transportation officer. Lieutenant Werner received his Bachelor of Arts in History and will serve as a signal officer in the Army Reserves. In keeping with Army tradition, Master Sergeant Retired Stephen Welch will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Welch, and Master Sergeant Retired Tom Werner will render the first salute for Second Lieutenant Werner. Will the newly commissioned lieutenants please rise and present yourself to be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 20 newest members of the United States Army Officer Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Army song. All right, y'all.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cages loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's commissioning ceremony. Please join us in congratulating the new lieutenants with a light reception located in the area behind you outside. We have this room until 10. So please take pictures as needed, and then we'll move to the refreshment area.